Hi guys, MuddledMuppet here, how you doing? Today we're talking about hacks, glitches and cheats. We all know these exist in the world of gaming in general. The question is now being thrown out, do they exist in The Last of Us? Now, I say question, it's actually being thrown out as a fact, usually by people who think that anyone who kills them must be using a hack to do so. So before we look at the factual accuracy of statements like, oh my god, you killed me, you must be the hack, sir, we'll get a few terms straight. For a hack, the Urban Dictionary gives us two useful definitions. Definition 1 is to program a computer in a clever, virtuosic and wizardly manner. Ordinary computer jockeys merely write programs. Hacking is the domain of digital poets. Hacking is a subtle and arguably mystical art, equal parts wit and technical ability that is rarely appreciated by non-hackers. Definition 2 is to break into computer systems with malicious intent. This sense of the term is the one that is most commonly heard in the media, although sense 1 is much more faithful to its original meaning. Contrary to popular misconception, this sort of hacking rarely requires cleverness or exceptional technical ability. Most so-called black hat hackers rely on brute force techniques or exploit known weaknesses and the incompetence of system administrators. A genuine hacker will usually be defined by the first definition. Most people who call themselves hackers are actually lackers. A lacker is a wannabe hacker, but lacks the technical skills and talents required to be a real hacker. Lackers use code or programs created by others, convinces himself that he has somehow reached a level of technical ability simply on the fact that he was able to run or compile the code, yet he does not have the capacity to create anything original to solve real problems. When these lackers develop a hack for an online game, they are commonly referred to as arseholes. Someone who uses the hacks that they develop are referred to as clueless arseholes. Now, a glitch is an error in programming introducing an often undesired effect, or it might be called an unlisted feature. A glitcher is someone who will exploit a glitch to offer an unfair advantage to compensate for a low level of playing ability affecting his chance to ever score. Much like a furiously masturbating loner looking through a peephole in a shower room, the exploit is necessary to allow him to achieve what others may achieve through hard work, wit and charm, or riffenol. This is why glitches are often referred to as wankers. Bots. A bot is a program that automates processes found tedious, such as aiming down your gun sight in an online shooter to match up with a target. A botter is someone who uses such programs. A botter is also a term for one who prefers to plant their pork sword into a rusty sheriff's badge, risking the wrath of God and a severe denting to their personal hygiene. The term arse bandit is acceptable for both types of botters. At this stage in the commentary, I'm going to leave a little pause to allow those who wandered here hoping to find a cheat time to realise that like everywhere else on the planet, they're not welcome here, and to politely ask them fuck off and find some other way of validating their pathetic existence. I highly recommend suicide and leaving an enigmatic note, dropping hints that you were molested by a local priest. This will ensure you aren't completely forgotten about 5 minutes after your demise. So, on to The Last of Us. Do hacks, exploits or cheats exist? For those of you who give a flying fuck about the leaderboards, the answer is yes. Overwhelmingly, the leaderboards are filled by people who have exploited game mechanics to give themselves a massive clan population. This will not affect you at all in the game, so fuck them. Lag certainly exists in The Last of Us, and changes to game code in patch 102 seems to favour those with bad connections. There is a probability that some players will exploit this through the use of lag switches, or even just downgrading their connection to give them lag. It's fucked up, but it probably happens. Now, this does not mean that any player with a bad connection is cheating. Some players will have bad connections totally outside their control, sometimes down to whoever's hosting, and sometimes down to the game servers. There's also a video out there that shows a glitcher managing to have unlimited ammo and some other exploits. Now, so far this doesn't seem to be replicated in a massive way online. I haven't personally come across this once, and I have hammered this game out online. I don't know anyone who's had any personal experience of this. The bottom line is that if you see something dodgy happening in The Last of Us, it's far more likely to be someone with an unintended glitch that the player themselves isn't even aware of. And while it's more fun and self-affirming to have a little rant and call them out for being cheats, the far more likely but boring answer is that it's either an undocumented feature or a good old friend Mr. Lag as the underlying cause. There we go, guys. That's the end of this commentary. Leave your comments, leave your feedback, like, share, rate and subscribe, all that kind of malarkey. This is Muppet out. Bye.